Welcome to Nuts at Night, episode number 74. Every time I say the episode number for Nuts at Night, I literally can't believe we've gone for that many shows. Even at 12, I couldn't believe it. Nuts at Night is a show, as we say on the website, it's a show about nothing yet something. And if you think really hard about that, it makes sense. Let me introduce the co-hosts of the show. In the upper right-hand corner of your screen, it truly is Santa Claus. Hello, Santa.
It's Chris Kringle.
And that beard is so fake-looking that even a 2-year-old could tell that is Chris Barry from Technology Adventures. What's going on?
Hello, everybody.
Hey. We're happy Chris is joining us for the special holiday episode today. And in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, as you know, the man, the myth, Steve D'Amico from smecomputer.net and other fine places. What's up?
Hey.
What's going on?
It's snowing.
I can't hear you with your mic that low.
Oh, sorry. It's snowing.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's snowing. It's been snowing all day.
It's snowing outside, really?
Cool.
Yeah, but then it kind of like stopped, and then just everything froze. Like that fell.
Man.
It kind of sucks.
So now it's ice, and then it's going to snow on top of the ice?
Yeah, I love that. And there's just dust and blows all over the place. That's a lot of fun.
You love that. I was in college one time. We had like just a horrible snow/ice storm, and I lived on top of on a hill, but it was not even a very steep incline at all. But the ice was so slippery. I could walk out of my front door and just stand upright and slide all the way to class. It was so bad. Like the power went out, the schools were closed, like everything was closed for a couple of days, and that doesn't happen down here in Florida.
Yeah, you just got palm trees. You know, there was a time I tried to get to school once, and I was trying to walk to school, and it was junior high, I think, or something like that, somewhere around then. And I was trying to get there, and I couldn't because it was like raining, and it was like a ton of snow on the ground, and the snow drifts were really, really high, and there was no way I could actually walk like along the sidewalk and not get cars that were passing by just throwing the water over the sidewalk. So there's no way I can get through without getting soaked.
Oh, that is like a true test.
So I stood there for about like 15 minutes waiting for like the perfect timing, and then just ran for it.
Did you make it?
I almost didn't, but I made it.
Oh,
yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, I have to say about the weather down here, I'm kind of a little disappointed. I thought the winters down here were going to be like spring, but the winters down here are kind of like fall. Fall of the east, in the east. I mean, in the north, not the east. So I thought it would be a little warmer. It was nice today, but I thought it would be a little bit warmer. So I mean, I can't really complain.
The temperature's not warm. Like, what are we talking about here? Like 70 degrees?
I'm a wuss when it goes below like 70. I don't like it. I mean, I'm maybe below 65 or so. Yeah.
Well, for anybody that's not familiar, Steve C, who just spoke, he's in Florida. Florida, sunny, beautiful Florida. No, I'm in New York, unfortunately.
Yeah. And Chris is in cold Vancouver. You're in Vancouver, right?
Yeah, I'm in Vancouver. It was about 5 degrees today, Celsius. So what's that, about 40?
Oh man, that's cold for me.
Yeah, and it's been raining like for 4 days.
So that you're saying that beard might be real. You grew that just to keep warm.
That's right. Yes.
It looks really good. Really
Thank
good.
You. It's so itchy. I can't wait to get it off.
No, you got to keep it on for the whole show. We'll be done soon.
No way.
All right, man. Why don't you start us off? What do you want to talk about?
Okay. Yeah, well, being the Christmas season, and I was me and my wife and my daughter and son. Well, he doesn't really do this, but we watch a ton of movies, and I just wanted to go over Christmas movies, what you guys like, what everyone watches, and I mean, in my family, we have like, every year you watch the same Christmas movies. It's sort of like tradition, and there's a few fun ones that I like, and one of them is The Christmas Story, which is an old classic. That's probably my favorite Christmas movie. It's in like I think it's in like the 50s, and if you haven't seen it, it's called The Christmas Story. It's probably the funniest movie I ever seen.
Let me tell you, I have TiVo. I bought that movie, I downloaded it, but I did not watch it yet. And because everybody loves it. That's the one I don't think I've ever seen. He buys like a BB gun or something, right?
Yeah, he gets it for Christmas. Yeah, and everyone says, "You're gonna shoot your eye out."
Is it really? Is it
and then
good?
he shoots his eye out.
Does he really?
No.
It's from 1983.
Yeah, but it's played back in like the 50s. Like the movie itself is like it's set in the 50s or 60s. That's way back.
You know, everybody I know says that that's the one to watch, and for some reason I never watched it. So I did download it. I got to see it. So you're recommending it?
Oh man, it's the funniest movie I've seen.
He gets his tongue caught on a pole too, right?
Yeah.
I've seen parts of it.
Totally.
I think everybody's seen parts of this movie.
Yeah, exactly. It's probably the most parts seen
it's on
movie.
like public television at least 12 times during the holiday season, right?
Well, it's on public television. That's all you're going to get is parts.
You kidding me? There's a station here every year that just loops it continuously.
No way, really? Like the Yule log.
What?
Yeah.
You're making that up.
No, I'm serious. Well, I know definitely last year there was a station here. I don't remember what station it was, but it would just completely just loop it for an entire 24 hours.
For one day or weeks or?
It was at least a day. It might have been 2.
Wow. It's pretty awesome.
It was pretty ridiculous. I've never seen this movie in its entirety. I've only seen bits and pieces. And for a while, I actually thought that the movie it was 2 movies. And there was a sequel. I had this thought in my head, but I was completely
great.
Yeah, it was just.
Oh
I
man,
never
just go get it. Just go rent it and
watch.
watch it like tonight or tomorrow because it's so good.
I'll watch it tonight, actually. Well, what else do you like? What other movies?
Okay, so another one I like Elf. It's a pretty funny show. It's a newer one. It's okay. You know, it's not fantastic, but it's not bad. And then probably my besides this and Christmas Story are my all-time favorites, which is Chevy Chase's Christmas Vacation.
Oh, if you weren't going to say that one, I was going to chime in that one.
That is the funniest movie I've probably ever seen. I mean, it is so good, and Chevy Chase is just such a tool, and he just fits right into the way he does this movie. It's just, it is beautiful. If you've never seen it, rent it and watch the beginning very intently because the first 15 minutes is absolutely awesome. It's just a great show.
It is awesome. What about when he's in the department store and he's trying to find a gift for his wife?
Out there. What did I say? Nipple?
Did I say nipple? He's like, I'm buying this for my wife. God rest her soul. Oh, I'm so sorry. No, she's not dead. She's not dead yet.
We're just divorced. He said, he's like, like a log, a Yule log. Not that I have a log. Not like you think I said I did. He's just such a mess.
He's the perfect tool.
Yeah, I love him.
Great movie, man.
Yeah, and one more that I like. This is sort of more of a family one. Is The Grinch That Stole Christmas, the newer one with Jim Carrey. It's good to watch with the kids and stuff. It's pretty funny.
I haven't seen the new one yet. How's it compared to the old?
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's not bad.
Cool. Good stuff.
Those are the ones I like.
Steve D, what do you like Christmas movie?
What's the? Oh man, I think my favorite is completely Nutz. Although I do like all the ones Chris mentioned. Is Bad Santa. That's my favorite of them all.
That seems like it's right up your alley, isn't it?
Yeah, that movie makes me laugh, and like every scene makes me laugh. That movie was classic. Here's so many aspects.
Let me just say,
so brutally nasty.
That's what I was going to say. The way you watch that movie is once you watch it, and then you have this horrible reaction, like, "Oh my god, I cannot believe!" And you're just shocked. You're completely shocked. And then what happens is you watch it again, and you just laugh your ass off. That's the way you got to watch that movie twice.
And more than twice, in my opinion, because there's so many things that you just miss or that don't really seem that funny the first time around.
Right.
But then it's one of those movies that absolutely does grow on you because it's just. But you have to really like some extremely obscene humor though.
Yeah.
Because it's just full of that.
Well, it's kind of like that guy. It's Billy Bob Thornton, right? Is that his name?
Yeah.
He plays a guy who hits rock bottom better than anybody I've ever seen. He plays rock bottom to the T. So it does. You can get into the character because he's just rock bottom. He's in apathy as a person.
Like he's complete and total mess, and kind of the movie celebrates how horrible it is because there's moments in movies you think, oh come on, it can't be that bad, and then the movie just keeps repeatedly proving, no, he's worse. And then, one of my favorite scenes is in something I can actually describe. He takes his kid home, drives his kid home, The kid he finds out that the kid, and he's a lunatic, he's a criminal, he's a drunk, he's a lunatic, he's a million different things. So he's asking about this kid. He's like, "Oh, you mean you live here and your parents aren't here? It's just your elderly grandmother?" He's like, he keeps finding out, and then he looks at the house and he realizes it's like a ton of money. This house is really, as soon as right behind the kid like lets him in, he just pulls out favorite scenes because it's so subtle. He just pulls out a ski mask, puts it over his face. Because he's decided, well, yeah, obviously I'm gonna rob this place.
That's great.
I gotta watch it again because the first time I watched it, I was like, "Really? That is not Christmas."
No, you have
not.
to watch it with a point of view.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, yeah, you have to get rid of the kids for that movie. There's a lot of really nasty scenes. Well, nothing like graphic in the actual graphicness, but like just kind of subject matter is extremely graphic.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say Christmas Vacation, but here's an unlikely Christmas movie. One would not even maybe think it's a Christmas movie. Die Hard.
That's true.
Totally.
It's a good movie to watch around Christmas.
It's awesome.
It happened during Christmas. They're having a Christmas party, and then it's just an awesome kick-ass movie. Got to watch that again.
Yeah.
I actually have to watch that again. I haven't seen it in a while. All right. Any other movies you guys want to talk about? No? All right.
Nope.
Let me see what I have on my list here. You know what I just picked up? Just picked up this thing. I was on Amazon buying gifts for everybody else, and I said, you know what? I'm buying myself something. And I wanted to always set up a NAS, and I actually have a Buffalo Network drive over in the corner there, and I want to be able to have. Let me just say what this thing is, and this is exactly what I want to have. Pogo Plug. Do you guys ever hear of Pogo Plug? It's
I've heard of it.
It's your own personal cloud, and what I like about it is it's a hard drive that resides in your physically. You actually have a physical hard drive. But it's a cloud because you can access it from anywhere, but your hard drive is in your location. So it's like Dropbox, but it's like having Dropbox's server in your house or wherever you are. And I like that because the thing I don't like about the cloud, like one thing I don't like about the cloud is uploading and upload speeds. And I want to put gigabytes of stuff on a drive. I don't want to have to upload gigabytes of data. So I always wanted to have a web accessible network drive. And I bought a Buffalo Live station, and it has a web interface, and you could do it from that. But this is just so sweet. It's integrated, and so you basically hook up a drive to this Pogo Plug, and it becomes a cloud. You can access it from any browser. You can there's Android apps, there's iPhone apps. I think there's an iPad app. So you can access it from any device, anything you put on that drive. And it's so simple. It took all you had to do to set it up was like name and or email address and password. And you're in, and you just log in from whatever machine you're on. The cool thing about this one is this is actually not the Pogo Plug. This is Seagate. It's a dock. Door-to-Door Geek planted this little seed in my head about, I don't know, a couple months ago where he was on Woot, and he got one of these for $25. And I'm looking at it while he's talking about it. I'm like, that might be something I would want in the future. And, of course, I waited because I'm like, I'll get it that cheap later. No, Door got it for $25. I got this thing as cheap as I could possibly find it anywhere for like $55. And it's basically a dock. You put your Seagate drive in. And I had a Seagate drive. That's why I got this one. A little Seagate free agent, they're called, little one. It just pops right in there. And I had one of those, so I got this dock. And this dock acts as a Pogo Plug, basically. So it's a Seagate / Pogo Plug. They teamed up. But it actually is branded Pogo Plug. And I was just playing with it a little bit before the show, and it's really slick. It's so whenever you access the hard drive, it's so fast. It does it with a nice graphics, folders. It's a really good interface. And I even like the interface on the Android app too. I haven't seen it on iPad or iPhone yet, but I just think it's cool. So if you ever wanted your own personal cloud and you didn't want to pay for a service, you didn't want to do like a Carbonite type deal, Pogo Plug's cool because it's you own the hard drive. And if you ever want to upload something from your physical house, it's basically just goes over your network, so it'll go super fast to the drive. You don't have to upload to the actual internet cloud. But you get the idea?
Yeah.
Yeah, is it 3.5-inch hard drives or 2.5?
This one's a 2.5. That's why I got it, because I had a silver free agent drive just laying around. So I got this for 2.5. I don't think they make this one anymore, actually. They make 3.5. And there's the actual Pogo Plug, which just you could hook up external USB drives to. And even on the docks, because this is a dock, Seagate makes another dock. They have like 3 USB ports. You could plug in 3 external hard drives, so you can have tons of you could have a really big cloud at your disposal. But it's cool. I recommend it. It's a good gift for people. All right.
I like that idea.
What?
I think you're getting me going on this one. I think I might actually get it.
Dude, I'm telling you. After that episode, I couldn't get Pogo Plug out of my head. And I kept looking for it in places, and every store I went to, I tried to find the one he got for $25, and it was $80 wherever I went. So I settled for spending $50, but he definitely made me want it, and I'm glad I got it so far.
You know why I don't buy a Pogo Plug?
Why?
Because it's pink.
They make a black one now. It has pink trim, but they make a black one.
Yeah, but you have to buy the Pogo Plug Pro. Oh, there it is. Why did they make it pink? I don't get it.
It's a good point. It's a very good point. I have no freaking idea.
I mean, I don't care that much what my technology looks like, but come on.
I think it's the same price as the Pogo Plug, Chris, the black one.
It is. I just looked nice. Okay. Now I'm thinking about getting one.
Yeah, but it has a pink button on it.
Okay. I'm lame, but I'm not quite that lame.
All right, Steve D, you want to?
Oh yeah, I have a great subject for you guys. I'd like to hear some of the, especially if for chat, I'd like to hear some of the worst gifts you've either received for Christmas or the holidays, whatever, or maybe you've seen given. Because I have one that I saw that was given, and it was like well over 10 years ago, and I still remember it. It was so bad. You guys have any good ones?
Yeah, well, my aunt gave me coloring books and bubbles. The problem was I was 14 years old.
Wait, bubbles? Oh, bubbles.
You know how you blow bubbles through the little, you dip it in a thing and you blow the bubbles.
I'm thinking of bubble wrap. I'm such a geek on eBay. I'm thinking of bubble wrap.
Oh, yeah, no, it's bubbles. You put the little thing, the wand, and you blow through. So that was a terrible gift because of the age, Otherwise, I would have loved it. But yeah, we were a little too old. And my brother was 2 years older than me. What?
My grandma gives the worst gifts every year. Every year it's the worst thing ever. It's either a shirt that's a small, I'm an extra large, so thank you very much. Or she buys my wife jewelry from the jewelry store that is like $2 for a necklace that has big, huge gems all over it. That's like, that fake jewelry you give to kids. Yeah. It's like, what do you do with this stuff? And she's like, she calls, how does it fit? Grandma, I'm 6'4", 260. Oh, well, I can't find the receipt, so yeah, it fits fine. Thank you very much for the extra small freaking shirt.
Oh, that's great. Go ahead, Steve. Do you have to have a gift?
Oh,
you have anything in mind when you thought up this topic? Yeah. What?
The first thing that came to mind was when, especially, I know nobody here knows my mom, but my mom is very practical. She's very kind of, I don't know, she's just kind of a little more practical than some people, I guess. But she doesn't really have like gaudy things. Like she's kind of laid back, And I saw. We used to get gifts from she married this guy a while back, who would have almost been considered my stepfather, but never really was. His mother gave her, my mom, for Christmas, I think it was his mother, it was a license plate frame for her car, but it was plastic gold, like it was really thick plastic gold with these giant fake plastic jewels all over it. And it was just horrid. It was horrid. And I'll never forget, I looked at it, I was like, wow. I was like, what? Like where did she even find that, let alone like thought like, oh, this would be a good gift for my mom, right? And I was just like, aye. And then my mom looked at it. I'll never forget my mom's face when she opened it up and looked at it and went, oh, what is this? And then I go, it's a license plate frame. And then she goes, oh, oh, I see. And I was like, but there's only one of them. And then my mom was like, yeah. And then I turned to my mom and I go, Mom, you really should ask her where the other one is, because you if you're gonna use it, you're gonna need two of them. And she's like, shut up.
Gonna need two of them.
You need two.
One for the front.
Front and back.
Okay.
I mean, I was like, but I mean, and I kept teasing her. I was going, Ma, we really need to find out where the other one is, because you don't want people to look at the front of the car and not see it, right? She's just like, shut up.
I wish you had a
Quiet
picture.
boy.
I wish you had a picture of that thing. Do you
I
have a picture?
really do wish I had a picture of it too, because my mom was she's just like, hey.
In this
I
day
don't-
if you would have got a gift like that, you would have had a picture with the
Oh,
phone.
definitely.
Yeah.
I would have taken plenty of pictures.
I can't
But,
think of any other horrible gifts. Chris, anything popping in your mind?
No, I can't think of anything, but there's tons. I
chat.
know there's tons.
Yeah, there's tons.
Fastlane Texas in the chat room that he got a pocket watch when he was 16. He felt like an old man.
I get gifts that I get an aunt who keeps buying me a tool set, and it alternates between a tool set and then a emergency package emergency kit for your car, and you just keep building them up. Now I have tools everywhere. It's actually pretty good, but I don't think that was the I don't know. I guess they think I throw them away. That's the only thing that pops in my mind.
Or
they
just
break?
keep thinking
Maybe?
of
Who
it.
knows?
I don't know.
I could think of some that I see like out there. Like I don't know who shops. I don't know. Chris might not have this in his area. I know I have it here. There's these like gizmo, like gadget kind of gizmos and gadgets kind of stores in the mall. And I just go in there and it's like who wants this stuff?
They should just write crap on top of their kiosk there.
Totally, yeah. Like
You
those
have
remote
those
control
stores, right?
helicopters
Yeah,
that
remote-
crash once and explode everywhere.
Exactly. Oh,
They sell those at Best Buy now. Have you guys seen that when you walk? Do you guys have this? I walk into Best Buy and they have the $34 little helicopters, remote control helicopters that there's a guy standing out front trying to flog. Do you guys have that at home?
not at Best Buy, but in different places around here. Yeah, there's always a guy with a helicopter.
Yeah, and they're like, this is just the greatest thing ever, and you try and fly the thing, and it's like you're super drunk when you start because it's just all over the map. It's kind of fun, but
That's
get out of my face.
Yeah, that's the kind of fun that wears off in about 10 minutes.
Totally.
Yeah, I think some of the worst ones are like the most unimaginative ones are like the foot like rubbers and the body massage things and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Those are some of the
yeah.
worst ones I've seen.
You guys got to watch Jimmy Fallon. He's really with it as far as late night hosts and people on actual networks. He's pretty damn good. He's got a great sense of humor. He makes fun of stuff like that. He does the 12 Days of Christmas sweaters, where he finds the ugliest Christmas sweaters, like with huge like reindeer and like they're totally like pink and red and all these crazy colors. And he every Christmas now, and I guess he's only been on for 2 years. He counts down 12 days of Christmas sweaters, where he just picks somebody out of the audience, tells them that they won this sweater, and then they have to put it on. It's great. So
He is so funny, eh?
he's great, man. He really is.
Yeah.
I missed Conan at first.
I like the thank you cards.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, they're great. My favorite skit is Head Swap. Do you ever see Head Swap?
No, I don't think so.
Head Swap is awesome. It's basically where he makes it seem like he's going to do a skit where he takes like two celebrities and like he switches their heads and puts one head on the other one's body. Like this last week he had Johnny Depp and Oprah Winfrey. And he's like, we're going to do a head swap. And he's got this whole song. And then he starts singing the song about head swap. And it always turns into like, he's basically explaining how he's going to do the head swap. It turns into this giant story where he gets in like a boatload of trouble, and the head swap, it just never happens. But it's all like still frame pictures of how they're going to do the head swap, and he basically goes down the hall to the graphics department to get photocopies of the celebrities so he could swap their heads. And then the graphic department guy always is in like some really bad scene where he wants to like murder somebody, and it's just like, so Jimmy gets into these little capers with him, and they never do the head swap. That's the funniest part about the whole thing. They never do the head swap. Check out that show. It's a good show.
I agree. I love it. You know what my biggest problem with all these late night talk shows is I don't really care about celebrities and I don't care what they have to say. So if they could just skip the whole guest thing and do something else, that would be better.
I like it. I like it because, yeah, I like to see people who are immensely successful, how they are in real life. It kind of fascinates me. And
yeah, but they're successful because they were, in my opinion, actors is almost half luck. You know, it's because you were born good looking and you could talk. You know, it's not really, it's not a huge skill as in, you know, Bill Gates is successful or Steve Jobs or somebody, or, I mean, that's just technology, but I don't know. I could just care less about, you know, actors. You know what I mean? I do know what you mean, but
I know what you're saying, man. That's not always actors though. It's different people. It could be like Bill Gates type people on there too. I mean, anybody who's just like really big at that time. But yeah, most of the actors are like duds. They really are duds. So I'm with you. All right. Whose turn is it? Is it back to Chris?
Yeah, it's me.
Okay. What do you want to talk about?
Okay, I got my last one here. You know what I'm just sick of? I'm sick of this, and you guys may have talked about this before. I don't know. I'm sick of this in forums. I'm sick of this on podcasts. I'm just sick of it. Is fanboys. Fanboys, whatever they happen to be. Fanboys for Android, fanboys for Apple. They're the worst. Just how people take this stuff like it's a religion. You know, I get something new and I tweet about it like 20 times or something, all the cool things I found, and then I'm done. And, you know, I sort of move on to the next thing. And I like all these different things. I like it. I have an Android phone now. I run Windows 7 on my desktop, so I now have an iPad. And before this, I had an iPhone. So, you know, I'm somewhat diversified. I was never like a super, Apple's the only way to go. Whoever uses Windows is ridiculous. Apple. Android's the only way to go. Whoever uses the iPhone, you're terrible. I can't believe you use the iPhone. You know, Apple's Linux is the greatest. You don't really hear about Windows fanboys, but I'm just sick of it. In a forum, sometimes you'll just get beaten up from it by saying something bad about one to the next, or you listen to different podcasts. I'm not naming names, not you, Steve, but the other podcasts out there, and they're just the biggest fanboys I've ever heard about things. And I just kind of had enough of it. You know, why can't everyone talk about things in a normal fashion? This isn't religion. This is technology.
You know what? I think I could kind of explain. I think I could kind of get to a little bit of the root of the matter. I think what it is that they think of it like almost like a religion, right? And it's like everything else has to die. If there could only be, I think of it as like there could only be one kind of mentality where like there has to be a winner, and it like these fanboys for say Apple, or you know, like some of them, not all of them obviously, but a lot of them were. The Android has to die. Like the Android has to be destroyed because the iPhone is the only way to go. And you're an insane idiot to think of any differently. You know what I mean? And it's like
totally. And they do the same thing with Windows. Like you listen to like, and I don't know how Steve feels about this, but like for example, Alex Lindsay on the Mac or whatever that one is called. They just beat up on Windows so bad, like it's the worst possible operating system there is on the planet. Like it's the worst thing. How could anyone ever use it? And he's just so tunnel vision on Apple, and it's like, you know, Apple has its problems too. It has its issues, and you know, they make these excuses for it. Like I start to get enough of it. I listen to podcasts after podcasts after podcasts, and I never listen to music. All I do is listen to podcasts, and it starts to get too much. So I just had enough.
That's a good gripe. I'm with you with like Mac Break Weekly. They are fanboys, 100%. Alex is the worst because he has money. So to him, you know, because he does all this graphic design, whatever stuff. To him, with money, Apple. One of the main gripes about Apple is they're expensive from Windows users. That's what they say. To him, that's not a factor. I heard when those new MacBook Airs came out, I was listening to Mac Break Weekly, and the 11-inch MacBook Airs, $1,000, and he's like, yeah, that's a great price. And even one of the other guys on the show is like, what? Yeah, it's a great price. And they're like, really? For that? So yeah, I'm with you. Some take it overboard and are just too much fanboys. You know, I think it's people that they get something they really like and they really want to talk about it, and they have nothing much else to really latch onto in their life, so that thing becomes it. You know what I mean? So don't mess with that thing, or you're gonna get it. So
Yeah, like I have a friend. He's obsessed with, of all things, Internet Explorer. Like I mentioned that I used. I didn't say I love. I didn't say it's all I use. I said I used. I mentioned that I use Firefox, and he's like, oh, like oh my god.
Oh wait, he's an IE fanboy. He likes it.
Wow, there's like
Fanboy
4
like-
of those.
Yeah, I finally found him. Right?
What did he
totally.
say? What did he say about
He has a
Firefox?
forum, and so yeah, there's 4 of them joined it. Sorry.
What did he say about when you use Firefox? What did he say to you?
He's like, do you understand that internet you can't get past Internet Explorer? He's like, why would you use a browser that's not embedded in the operating system? I mean, I don't get it. He goes, do you realize that there wouldn't be an Internet Explorer if there wasn't? I mean, there wouldn't be a Firefox if there wasn't Internet Explorer. And then he's like going off, and then he goes, and then another part of the argument he was telling me is that, do you know that Firefox, you see, Firefox uses parts of Internet Explorer to function. It has to rely on it. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, this doesn't matter. This does not matter.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I wanted to bring up Chrome and watch his head explode.
We got to get him on Podnutz Daily. Can you ask him to come on? Ask him to come on one of the shows.
Every time I mention talking on a podcast, he looks at me like as though I farted.
Oh goodness, that's great.
Because Internet Explorer can't play podcasts through it, just crashes.
Is this that guy, Steve, that you're talking about? That's like just totally like gruff, and he just like no matter what you say to him, you're wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, okay. I guess he's not going to come on.
He's
the
a great
show.
guy, but he's a pain in the ass.
Just do like a personal interview with him then, and say we're going to put this on the podcast. You don't have to go on the podcast.
I should record our phone calls because sometimes they're really funny.
What I wonder is why can't you like 3 things? You know, why can't you like, like Steve, you're a good example. You like your MacBook, right? You love your MacBook. You always say, I love it. It's my favorite computer. It's the greatest computer ever. But you also have an Android phone. You're like, I love my Android phone too. And then you set up pretty much your whole studio. I mean, give me a little bit of leeway here with Windows 7, right? I mean, it's pretty much a lot of Windows 7 involved there. So you're very diversified. And it's like, you can love 3 things and not be just pigeonholed. Like if you buy a Mac, doesn't mean you have to buy an iPhone and an iPad and another Mac and an iMac and all these, and I'm never going to use Office. I'm going to go to Pages, which is garbage, and all these things. And I'm on no way. I got to use Safari, right? It's like, come on, people.
Yeah, Chris is like fired up on this.
I get so mad. I get get passionate.
I met a kid once. I did a job for this lady, and her kid came home, and I installed like every system on a fresh install. I always throw Firefox in there as the option, because I think having only one browser installed in the operating system, I think it's kind of a bad idea just in case something goes wrong. You always have at least a backup. Yeah. And so I always install Firefox, and then I usually leave Internet Explorer because that's what everybody tends to go to. That doesn't know much about computers, which is most of my clients. So I left the Firefox and the Internet Explorer icon there, and he goes, "Oh, I don't use this." And then he drags the Internet Explorer icon right into the recycle bin. And he goes, "Oh, in Firefox, why did you install this on my computer? I don't want this." And then drags that icon into the recycle bin. And I go, "Well," I said, now what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do to get a browser?" I said, "You have no browsers." And then he goes, "Oh, he's like, you didn't install Safari?" And I'm like, "No, I should have." And then he goes, "Yeah, it's my favorite browser." And I was like, "Oh." I said, "Well, hold on, let me launch Firefox and get it for you." And then
do you know me and all my friends are gonna laugh at you tonight on my podcast?
And he was on a PC and he was running Safari?
Yeah, just that's all he runs.
Oh.
He said nothing. Yeah, I think that's like running Safari on your PC is like it's like a poor man's Mac, like a really poor man's Mac, right? It's like
taking one of those Fieros and turning it into a Lamborghini.
Dude, that is the most perfect analogy. That hits. It's perfect.
It's
Fieros. Oh my god.
It's like putting a Bentley hood ornament on your Toyota. Right?
Yeah. I agree.
Totally.
And plus, I don't think Apple even makes it that good for PC. I don't use it on PC. I don't even use it on Mac. I'm Firefox all across the board.
I mean, it's little
That's
things.
That's funny. You know what?
Yeah.
This kind of dovetails in the not fanboy, but you know what I'm sick of? And I know this is like supposed to be an uptone holiday episode, but we're all like sick of crap.
Yeah.
But I was watching a Windows 7 commercial the other day. No, Windows Phone commercial. And it dawned on me that I think I'm sick of Windows. The word and the marketing of Windows. I don't think they should market the phone under Windows. I think it's just getting too much. I don't know what it is. It's just something that just hit me. I can't explain. It was just the marketing. Some marketing sense in me just snapped when I heard Windows Phone and they were talking Windows. And I'm just like, call it something else. You should call it something else. Windows is just too played. They're playing it too hard.
They should call it doors. Right? At least something else.
Something else. Not that.
No. All right, portals.
It doesn't even have to be an orifice or opening or a portal. It's anything.
All right, tiles. Actually, that's not terrible because the phone doesn't look like it has tiles on it.
But I think it's part of Windows. One of Windows' flaws is that they keep saying Windows. I think Microsoft should just take a sharp turn on this. I mean, I guess they did it with Zune, and I guess they did it with Xbox, but it worked for Xbox. I think they should market their phone as something else. I really do. I'm just something about Windows just doesn't sit good. I don't know. We'll see how they do. But it's just, to me, that wasn't right. It just I finally snapped on Windows for some reason.
Because you heard the word Windows too many times in a row.
Yeah, it must have been it.
Yeah.
It's too bad too because it looks like a good phone. You know,
Have you ever
Everyone
used
talks
one?
like it's a good phone. I've held the Focus, but they didn't have a live model, so it's just a dummy model. And I saw some YouTube videos on it. It seems cool.
It's really nice. I mean,
Yeah.
the way you navigate through screens, the animation's so smooth and it flips, like turns and slides. Really pretty. But I think it's a little too late. Whatever.
It's too early for them. Like it's too late. You're right. There's too many other people out, but we need Windows Phone 7 2.0. You know, when it's just another year from now, I think it might be a better platform, more apps, a little more polished.
If they keep it going, who knows what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't think it's for geeks. I think it's for like our moms. You know, I think it'd be
Yeah, it's
awesome
not
for
for
my
geeks.
mom. You know, like it's Android's for geeks because you could mess with it to the umpteenth
No,
level.
they should market it for geeks. I think so. That's who buys
Why?
smartphones because moms buy those phones with the big buttons on them. I mean,
Or iPhones.
yeah, it's true. And
No, the moms should have this phone. If they're gonna have like a smartphone, then I think they should have the Windows Phone. Okay, you're gonna hand your mom a BlackBerry? No. Android?
No.
iPhone? I guess possibly. But this one,
No
this
way.
one seems like the right one. No.
I don't know.
That
Which phone?
iPhone's pretty easy to use. You know, I've come from the iPhone. I was with the iPhone for 2.5 years, so was Steve there, and I know it. And coming from the iPhone to Android, it's a big step. It's complicated. Android is complicated. You have to worry about battery management. You have to worry about apps running in the background. You have to worry about phone crashes. You know, there's lots of little things. You know, I mean, you can go above and beyond that, rooting and all those kind of things. It's
Yeah.
a lot. It's a lot more of a computer than it is a phone.
Yeah.
And the iPhone is much more of a phone / email / app machine than, you know, it's just easier. It's just much easier.
It is. I remember, as you're saying that, I do remember how the iPhone was. It was like, no worries. My 3GS, man, that thing would run forever. I never had to worry about charging it. But and when I got to the Android, at first I'm like, whoa, what did I get myself into here? But then listen to Android App Addicts or be on the show, even better. And then you just start to get the feel, and you really love the Android after a while.
Totally. I could see it. It's more like a computer. I feel like I'm a little scared right now. I'm like,
Yeah.
did I make the right decision? It's only been about 5 days, but you know, I can feel it's getting better. Plus I'm on 2.1, 2.2.1 is coming out for us on my phone within the next like couple days. So I'm just waiting for it. But
Yeah.
I've heard that, you know, helps some of the stability. And yeah, I've been listening to Android App Addicts and that's been helping.
Yeah, dude, you're fine. Trust me. You will be happy. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
All right, let me talk about one other thing real quick here. That was like that Windows thing was kind of a lead into this, I guess. Well, not really a lead in, but have you guys heard of racetrack memory? Scott Moulton talked about this on one of the shows. There's a CNET article about it. Check this out. This was like Scott talked about it like 6 months ago. There's this badass memory that apparently they're making like huge strides in getting to like almost be released. And I gotta find the link for it. And it's called Racetrack Memory. And who is developing it? IBM possibly? I spelled it wrong. Give me a second here, guys. I'm on CNET. That's where I read a good article on it. Okay, Racetrack Memory. Come on, search.
Yeah,
search,
IBM.
search. Yeah, where is that? Under news. Okay, here we go. I think. Give me a second. Oh, yeah. IBM rounds the curve on racetrack memory. This is an article on CNET written by Lance Whitney, but let me read some parts of it because it's really awesome. A new kind of memory from IBM Labs is promising to revolutionize how much data we can store and how fast we can access it on our mobile and desktop devices. After spending 6 years as a theoretical concept, the memory dubbed Racetrack is finally a huge step closer to reality. Researchers at IBM have recently confirmed that their theories of the physics behind Racetrack are valid and can be used to develop and manufacture this new type of memory. This revolutionary type of memory could open up a whole new world for laptop, smartphone, other mobile devices. Users will be able to store as much as 100 more times data on their portable gadgets, perhaps keeping as many as 500,000 songs or 3,500 full-length movies on one mobile device. And since Racetrack would use considerably less power, a single battery charge could power a device for weeks rather than days or hours. How does Racetrack work? Unlike conventional memory, which needs to seek out the data it needs, Racetrack automatically moves the data to where it can be used. This serves not only to speed up data access, but allow much more data to be stored in a smaller area. They go on to explain it. You could read the article. But it's basically a solid piece of metal. There's like no moving parts, I don't believe. No, I think it's all is it magnetic? Got to keep reading. But the way Scott explained it is like a single piece of metal, and that's how it works. It's just like one piece of metal, or this data is stored on a piece of metal, and however the magnetic thingy boppers work in there, whatever, it works. But that to me is pretty damn exciting.
I heard it's metal and bugs.
Like little bugs?
Yeah, bugs.
Like ants?
Yeah, like no special ones. Not ants. Those are different kinds of bugs.
You must have watched that latest G.I. Joe with the nanobots.
No, I actually didn't see that. No.
I think it was G.I. Joe. It's one of those.
Oh no, what was
shows.
that? There was some movie. I don't know what the hell. I think I saw something that had little gnat things that flew around and like ate everything.
Yeah, they eat everything.
Oh, that was.
Was it Transformers?
That was a movie with Keanu Reeves, where he's an alien. Somebody knows. Somebody's yelling. Somebody's yelling at their.
The day after tomorrow, or day before tomorrow? The day after tomorrow. He was an alien.
Oh, you mean yeah? Not the Minority Report. The main one.
The main one?
Now I have to look them up.
The Matrix?
The Matrix.
No, dude. There was no nano. Was there? I don't know. I think it was G.I. Joe. Let's just keep it.
No, there was nanobots and stuff in the Matrix, wasn't there?
I don't remember.
I'm looking it up right now.
But when you release them, they just eat up everything.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, anything to do with faster memory, that is so important because that is our crazy bottleneck right now. Is people using spinning disks.
Yeah.
I've gone to the solid state. I'm solid state on everything I use in front of me, everything, all 4 computers, and it is night and day when I have to go to a spinning disk. It's like I can't believe I was living with spinning disks for that long.
Really? Oh man, you're so spoiled now.
So slow.
It's just like it's like going from dial up to broadband, isn't it?
It's exactly what it's like. It's a great analogy. It's
really?
you click for example Chrome and it's up in a second and a half. You click on Outlook and it's open in 3 or 4 seconds, and for Outlook that's incredible. It's just everything is almost instant. Boot time is 20 seconds, so it's not like I gotta reboot. It's like reboot.
Damn, I gotta get one. Maybe I'll buy myself a Christmas present.
Man,
you can get 100. Sorry, Steve. You can get 120 gig. I'll tell you which ones to get. The Intel ones are great, but there's faster ones now.
Patriot?
There's SandForce controllers, and you get a SandForce controller. You can get like OCZ makes them with SandForce controllers. 120 gigs for under $200 now.
Really?
Yep. And it's you know what? You put it in your machine. It's 120 gigs. You just can't put music pretty much, some podcasts, but you can put everything else on your machine and it's plenty of space.
Wow. Damn. Okay. That's one of my next things.
It's the Earth, the day the Earth stood still.
Yeah, I saw that day the Earth stood still. Is that what the one with the nanobots?
That's the one at the end of the movie, because I'm gonna ruin it for everyone. That's what gets released, and they all try to eat everything.
Oh, well, you know what? I watched that movie, and it's a remake, and it sucked compared to the original. Did you ever see the original, The Day the Earth Stood Still?
No.
Awesome.
But I wasn't too thrilled with that movie.
No. Watch the original.
It was very forgettable, except for the little bugs.
Yeah.
Those little bugs were horrifying.
Is it a good movie? You said no, it's not. The Day the Earth Stood Still. It's the worst title I ever heard.
Dude, it's a great movie. It's a classic. It's just not good. It's a classic. The original is a classic. Great. I lost my notes in this frustration.
That movie had moments, but that's like not a movie, you know.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Are we up to what don't you like?
I got a big one.
All right. Why don't we go into that? Go ahead. Hit us up, Steve.
Okay. I got a big one. This one, it's not something I don't like. It's something that infuriates me. It's something that makes me want to literally. It's something that makes me makes me go berserk. I have to contain. It's the only thing that frustrates me to actual literal anger.
I find that hard to believe.
Because I've been in this business as long as I have, I just kind of shrug my shoulders. I mean, even on the 11th hour of dealing with an issue, I just kind of shake my head and go, "Oh, this sucks." But this one thing makes my blood boil, and it is because it's just the most unnecessary thing ever. All of these wireless adapters that you buy, they all come with that wireless manager. You know that software that they go. It's like Linksys and Intel and all these different companies. They come out and go, and Netgear and Cisco. They go, you know, the Windows utility for finding wireless networks, that's too easy. I got an idea. Let's make something complicated. And then they go, yeah. And then somebody raises their hand and the back goes, we can also make it not only complicated, but we can also make it like 18 steps to do what you could do in the Windows one in 2 steps. And then that guy gets a promotion. Have you used these? Oh, you had to. You guys have had
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me they don't. When you think of how easy the Windows one is, and then you're using one of those, tell me it doesn't just make you go, why and how? How does this thing take place? How does somebody make this?
That's a really good question. I don't know what would motivate one to do that if there's already Windows utility in the first place. They don't
the
make
worst one. It's the one that comes with like the Toshiba laptop or the Acer laptop. Those are the worst ones. The ones that come with the utilities or the little sticks are terrible too. But the Toshiba one that has like a beginning circle and then an outer circle and then a farther out circle and then a farther out circle, and it like superimposes itself on the screen and takes up the whole screen and puts dots everywhere. Like, I don't care how far away my neighbor's hotspot is. And I can see the CPU at 100% because it's probably running it on flash, and you're like, come on.
Oh, that's great.
Oh,
I know.
But does it make you as angry as it does me?
No.
Really?
No.
You don't. You've been out of it too long. Don't answer. You don't apply, Chris.
No, it doesn't bother me quite as much.
Really,
Steve? You described it. You described it as one of the worst things that could happen to you.
It is. It is. You know, like when you're standing at the side of the road and there's a puddle there, and some car just drives through that puddle and just drenches you from head to toe. It's not as bad as these utilities. It just ruins my day when I see them. Like, I just see them and I'm like, oh.
What do? Do you uninstall them?
I try, but there are some of them you can't uninstall. Right. You uninstall them and you know what they go? Then you're not getting the driver. And they uninstall the driver with it.
Oh, that's so bad. I don't know what the incentive is for these companies to install that.
And my favorite part is that you remove it from memory and then you load the Windows one, and the Windows one goes, "Hey, we're not the default one. Screw you."
Yeah.
And you're just like, "You're kidding." And then you have none. You don't have the Windows one because it won't load because it's like, "Hey, we're not the default one." And then you try to load the other one. I mean, but the other one's closed because you shut it down. And then you're just like, "But I shut that one down. I turned it off, so I shouldn't have. What?
Right.
I should be going to the window."
I know.
No.
That's bad.
There's got to be somebody out there that hates these things as much as me.
Maybe
No, I
mic-
don't like them either.
Your mic fell down a little bit, Steve.
Oh, sorry.
That's cool.
You know what, though? I have
hate
one on
that.
my Lenovo. It's the Lenovo Access Manager or something like that. But it's like, you know what? It's actually good on my new Lenovo. Don't kill me, Steve. It's actually pretty good. It's the Access Connection thing, and it's like, it does all sorts of different cool little jobbies. But other than that, they're all terrible.
Wow. I can't believe you found one that you actually don't want to put your fist into.
Yeah, it's pretty good, the Lenovo one. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, I didn't put my fist through it, and I kept it on. All the Lenovo bloatware is actually pretty good. I was surprised. I left it all on my computer.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's goodware then.
If
Yeah.
I could punch software, if I could just only punch software. Yeah, I have to admit though, yeah, I have my Lenovo X61, the utility software that nobody would ever want installed. Actually, it's not terrible in here.
Yeah,
It doesn't feel like
good.
it bloats up the system or really messes it up. I did put a third-party battery in a non-supportive, and it recognized it right away and freaked out, and then I had to uninstall it because it was bothering me. That was the worst that happened.
All right, is it my turn? For don't like?
No, it's my turn if it goes Steve.
Okay, go for it. I lost track.
Jeez.
I lost track.
I've been thinking about these don't likes for a week, okay?
Sorry.
That's okay, just kidding. Do you want to go first? You can go. You know what? I'll go last.
After that, you freaking kidding me? I'm afraid now. You go.
Okay, I'll go.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I have two. The last one, the first one's my real one. The second one's just something that happened tonight that just peed me off. Okay, first one. So everyone's been doing, Christmas shopping. I'm sure it's driving everybody bonkers. You're out there. There's tons of people everywhere. But I can't stand. You go into somewhere like a Costco or whatever, Walmart or whatever, and they have pretty big aisles. Enough for six. I'd say three people to walk by comfortably. And you have a person with their cart. They're usually old, and they're walking down the middle of the aisle, slowly looking at everything, stopping, staring at something, thinking if they want it or not. And then they don't pay attention to anyone else around you. You're trying to shuffle by them on the side with your cart. They're banging into you. They're just not paying attention to anything else except themselves.
Because there is no one else but themselves. They are alone in the world. Yeah.
Does that bother anybody else?
Yes, it bothers me a lot.
Yes.
I've had a few run-ins with people like that.
It's everywhere. It's at the grocery store. It's at Costco. It's at Walmart.
I'm thinking at the grocery store. Yeah, I don't go to those stores when people are there. Like, luckily, my Walmart's 24 hours. I try to go when there's nobody there.
That's nice.
The supermarkets, man, they're just. It's not that even some people don't pay attention. It's just like the aisles are too skinny, and there's like 20 people trying to get down them, and unfortunately, people do have to stop and pull things off the shelf. Not me. I don't. I just run by and throw it in. But everybody else.
That I understand. If there's 20 people, hey, fair enough. It's the one person not paying attention, dawdling, looking at things, just no regard for anybody else besides their damn list and their stupid chocolate chip cookies that they need to look at for 4 hours when I just want to buy one thing. I know exactly what I want. I'm trying to get past them, and then they look at me weird if I bump them, like I did something wrong. It really chaps my teeth.
What? This is such a not festive show. Like, it's just getting more harsh and angry.
Okay, I got a worse one than this. Okay,
What?
Next. I'm moving on to the next one because this is getting long. Okay.
Okay.
Next. I went to a friend of mine's house today, and I walked in, and he's having a party because it's his daughter's birthday, whatever. We're just there for a couple hours, and I walk in, and there's some new people there, and the guy my buddy's friend, it's his wife's friend, blah blah blah. It's a long story.
Were you invited to this? Were you invited
What?
to this party? Or did you
Yes,
just
I was
crash?
invited to this party. Thank you. And
Okay.
so I show up, and this guy, there's another guy there, and he's walking past me, and I finally go, "Hi, my name's Chris," because he doesn't introduce himself, right? And so he finally goes, "Oh, hi, I'm whatever, Eric," and I can tell he's a little bit of a, shall we say, tool. And what I hate the most is when people are so insecure that they have to do the over firm handshake. There's three types of handshakes. There's the little handshake where the guy doesn't quite know what to do, and they barely squeeze, and you're like, wow, that was sort of creepy. Then there's the normal handshake,
Right.
just a normal, everyone does the normal firmness, all's good, you walk away, you don't think twice about it. Then there's the guy that grabs on your hand and he squeezes harder than you, so you squeeze a little harder, and then he squeezes a little harder, and you're going, why is this guy over firm in the handshake? I don't get it. And you just want to pull away. That is another one that drives me
That's
crazy.
a good one, man. That's a good one.
The worst guy is the one that looks at his hand after he shakes your hand and then makes sure that he doesn't have poo on his hand after he walked out of the bathroom.
Wow, you smell bad.
What? You know what, though? You reminded me of, Chris. I thought you were going to say when you went to that party how nobody introduced people to you. I don't like that. When you go to when you go somewhere with somebody who knows somebody and you don't know that person's friend, and so you go there and the person doesn't introduce the two people. So you're basically,
I hate that too.
You're sitting there and one person knows everyone and everybody else doesn't know each other. And then it's just not good.
It's awkward.
It's awkward. Exactly.
Yeah, that is awkward.
So those are my don't likes, and I had 100 of them, but I picked those two.
Those are good ones. I'll do one. I mean, since we're on the freaking anger band here, how about I was doing Christmas shopping today, and you know what I don't like? People's attention spans, because there could be at traffic lights, especially at traffic lights, people lose focus before the light turns green on like so many occasions. It's just like, it's like common now that you're going to have to honk at the guy in front of you because he's not going to know when the light turns green. And there's a couple things about green lights that I want to talk about. Number one, the arrow, the green arrow. So you get behind somebody who doesn't see the arrow, and the arrow turns green. He doesn't know. You honk at him. He gets by. By that time, the light is red, so nobody else can get by. That's the worst. Another thing is when you know that the arrow is short, you know that the green arrow is short, so you do the polite thing and you go as close as you can to the person in front of you so more people can get through the light. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I do that, and I think it's a good thing to do. It's polite to try to get through the light as fast as possible. Most people, they wait for the guy in front of them to pull away, and then they hit the gas, and so that person has to go. And then the next person behind them hits the gas, and 3 people get through the lights. It just needs to be more awareness on the road as far as politeness.
Yeah,
Agreed.
I totally agree. I love that person that drives 4 miles below the speed limit and is swerving, kind of like slightly swerving back and forth so you can't turn around. You don't know if they're stable enough to actually stay in between the lines and get around them.
Right.
So you just have to sit there and you're just like, no.
Right.
And then you just knock them off the road.
All right. We have to end off on a high. We have to end off on a happy note. Okay, I insist. So let's think of some things that we like, and then we could all start to leave with a smile. Steve D, what do you like?
What do I like? I don't like anything.
Okay.
Oh, so sad.
What do you like to hate? Anything you like to hate?
Yes, I love hating this.
Oh yeah.
I love it when people use the term cyber for things, like they refer to it as cyber crime or it's like anything with the word cyber in it.
Cyberspace. It's dated. It's getting dated.
Dated. It proves it's been dated for like 5 years. I think whenever somebody uses the word term, think about this. Just think about it. If you think about it, anybody or any person or anything that uses the term cyber to describe something, and before they describe something, is somebody who has no idea what the hell they're talking about.
Oh, that's awesome.
Isn't it true though?
Yes, and they make, and unfortunately, they make our laws.
Yes.
They are legislators.
So it's not crime. It's not fraud. It's cyber crime.
What does that even mean?
I pick every time I hear cyber, I always think of some kind of, I think of like a robot melting. I don't know why. All right, sorry.
All right.
Sorry. I took acid before I went on the show. Sorry.
He's kidding. Chris, go ahead.
Okay, what do I like? What do I like? I have two things I like, but the first one I'm going to pick for this show is my new, shiny, beautiful looking iPad. And it is really quite fantastic. If you don't expect it to be a computer, it's not a computer.
You just got one? You just got one?
Yeah, it's sitting right in front of me. I got it here. I got it yesterday.
Let's see it. What do you like about it? Why did you buy it?
I didn't. I got it for Christmas. I had with my parents. I had Christmas early because we're going to Karen's parents tomorrow, so we had to have 2 Christmases. This is the 3G 64 gigs, so it's the highest end one. What I like about it, this is what I like. I really like reading magazines, but I really hate buying magazines.
Right.
And this is a fantastic magazine reader. Magazine reader, yeah. It's just really good at that. I like books as well, like computer books. I hate buying computer books. I hate having shelves upon shelves of computer books to read. This is just going to have everything on it.
Do you use a Kindle app for that?
Yeah, the Kindle app for that. Amazing. I've already bought 2 books on it. It's just really good for that. I really like browsing the web on it. You know, when I'm sitting in front of the television instead of whipping out my laptop, it's really nice just to go on Safari real quick and do a few things, and then I'm right there. My mail is there as well. I really like that. I liked the iPhone mail app a lot. I actually missed that on my Droid, and I really like the iPad mail app as well. So I know I need to listen to Android App Addict. I'm sure there's probably more mail clients on Android, but I'm still new to that. Yeah. I know the iPad because I had an iPhone for 2 years. Right. It's like 6 of one, half dozen the other, right?
Yeah.
I just find it fits into what I was missing a lot, and I was missing something that I didn't always want to carry a laptop with me. You know, I fly out to the bank, I fly out to, you know, pick up something or just go out with some buddies or something like that, and I'm waiting for them at the restaurant or something. You know, I didn't want to bring a whole laptop, but this thing's so small, it just fits perfect.
Right.
I like the YouTube application. I like the battery life. The battery life's like 8-9 hours in this thing. I mean, it's incredible. The 3G, I mean, it's got internet everywhere. It's got great Wi-Fi. It's 802.11n, including the 5 gigahertz spectrum. It's got all the iPhone apps, but you know, the iPhone apps kind of stink for it, so you have to make sure you get the iPad apps. It's a full navigation system. So the Droid's good for navigation, but you know, I find the navigation app on the Droid's really good. It's free, so how can you complain about it? But you know, it does crash the odd time. I'm 2.1, so maybe 2.2.1 will be better for the crashiness. So anyways, it's got a nice GPS on it. I just find it's probably the coolest. So I like RSS. I love reading RSS feeds. I got Google Reader filled with them, and Flipboard is the coolest thing I ever seen in my entire life.
Really?
It aggregates everything into a newspaper style, and it's just so wicked.
I heard about that.
I don't know. For me, it fits into my life beautifully.
Okay. There's people like you, Chris, and then there's people that I guess want to use it as a computer and get frustrated.
Yeah.
I had
It's not a computer.
I wasn't a media reader. I didn't read much media, so when I had my iPad, I didn't use it for that, and that's like it's one of its best features. It really is. It sounds awesome. I mean, it sounds awesome. It sounds like it fits you perfectly. I'm going to give it another shot because my mom, one I gave to her, she like never uses it, so I'm going to make a case. I'm going to start hinting that, hey, Mom, if you're really not going to use that, I'll buy it back off you, and maybe she'll just give it to me or something like that. So I might have one soon, but it's just going to be Wi-Fi. But I want to give it another shot. And that's good report, man. I'm glad to.
You know what? The Wi-Fi one would be great because you have wireless,
yes.
the access point on your Droid,
yes.
So you 6 of one, half dozen the other, right?
Exactly. And see, I was going to buy the Galaxy Tab. But when I found out and I still might, but when I found out the Galaxy, you can't make phone calls on the Galaxy Tab, I'm like, it's going to be maybe too much like my phone. So maybe if I could get the iPad back for free, then I'll definitely just use that for a while and see what happens. But I'm still a big fan of the Galaxy Tab. But
One more thing I'm just going to say about the iPad, just quick before we move on. Sorry, I know it's getting long here, but there's an app called, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it, called Zeno, and you can order magazines on it, and it's so much cheaper. So I really enjoy reading magazines, and they don't have a ton right now, but they have PC World and PC Mag. Yeah, they're not the greatest ones in the world, but they're not too bad. You get a full 1-year subscription for $18.
really, how do they look on there?
That freaking awesome. Here, I got both of them. Let's see here. Just give me a second to pull it up. Go to my library. Title. I'll do PC Mag. The PC Mag is actually really good. Oh, see, I just got another one delivered. I didn't even know.
Nice.
Beautiful. Oh, okay. Just give it a sec. I hadn't downloaded this one yet. Let's see if you can see. That's the cover. So we're delayed. But it's as good as the magazine.
Looks great.
It's absolutely incredible.
Turn a page.
Then the cool feature. Okay. So I haven't downloaded the whole thing, so we're seeing delays here. Once you download the whole thing, the delay goes away. So as soon as you swipe it,
right,
it goes to the next page, right?
Hold it up a little higher.
The cool thing is, and I'll show you a cool feature. Okay. So you go to here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You can see this.
Yes.
It's hard to read that because the writing gets kind of small.
Mm-hmm.
If you click on text, let's see if I'm doing it. Okay. It will just give it a second. It'll bring up just a list of text only from that article in more readable format.
Can't really see that, but that's all right. I get the idea.
Yeah, it's too glassy. So what it does is it gets rid of all the formatting that the magazine did and makes it just one big long list of text to read.
Right.
So it makes it bigger and easier to read like a book.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, and it's so cheap, $18 for 12 issues.
Sweet.
Hey, that's pretty cheap. So I'm really excited about this.
Good.
And I'm just happy.
Fanboy. All right, my turn. What I like, I'm just kidding. What I like is I did almost all my shopping on Amazon this year, and I thought I'd sign up for. You guys ever hear Amazon Prime? You know what Amazon Prime is?
Yes.
It kicked ass for Christmas because I started buying stuff on like the 16th, 17th, and everything I was buying was eligible for, quote, free super shipper shipping method, which basically is like ground. So I wasn't guaranteed to get it before Christmas. So it kept prompting me, do you want to sign up for Amazon Prime? You want to sign up for Amazon Prime? So I said, yes. And I got my Amazon Prime trial, and I ordered everything. Amazon Prime is 2-day free shipping. I got everything on time. It was awesome. Now, Amazon Prime is $79 a year. But I would have spent more than $79 on the stuff that I bought for shipping. So, because I bought for everybody on Amazon. So, it basically paid for that right up front, and it came on time. So it was like a lifesaver. Amazon Prime is cool, definitely if you do a lot of buying on Amazon. Use podnutz.com/Amazon too when you want to buy stuff on Amazon, please.
How much is that, Steve?
What?
Amazon Prime.
It's $80 a year.
That's actually not bad at all.
It gives you free 2-day shipping on anything you buy that qualifies, which is everything that Amazon sells. Some of the third-party vendors, not really. And also, if you want to do overnight shipping, it's super cheap. So it makes 2-day shipping free and overnight super cheap. So like for $4, you get like a lot of stuff overnighted.
Oh, I'm Mr. Can't Wait. Like I always, if there's an opportunity to pay just, a tiny bit more for shipping that makes it come faster, I always click that button.
I know. I'm Mr. Can't Wait. That's why I don't like to buy stuff online, but for Christmas it was great for presents. Because I'm super Mr. Can't Wait. I have to go buy it at the store. Even waiting overnight is too much for me.
Ditto.
I've been always kicking around the idea of using Amazon as, or especially Amazon Prime as, it's like one of my
Suppliers.
only ways to buy a lot of like hard drives. And,
I went through that, Steve, and the selection wasn't, and their prices weren't good enough for me.
But I think maybe things have changed because I'm looking at a 1 terabyte hard drive, just a super quick look, and $60. Not bad.
No, that's not bad at all. It's a good idea. I was trying to find more computer parts like RAM, hard drives, power supplies, and I couldn't get enough. But that was my idea. And if you're gonna buy lots of hard drives, I think it's a great idea.
I guess hard drives is one of the few things that might be good for.
The problem is the third-party vendors that sell the specialized stuff. Sometimes that Prime doesn't qualify for those dudes. All right. Is that everybody? We all did what we liked, didn't we? Cool.
Yes.
All right. Chris, where can people find you if they want to contact you?
Technology Adventures, but do Twitter. Tech Adventures on Twitter.
Cool.
That's where I put all my interesting stuff, and lots of people want to hear what I have to say. It's very, very, very good.
Oh, it's fantastic.
I'll tell you what. I'm trying to make both of you guys superstars. We're hopefully in the near future, guys. We will have products both from Chris and Steve D'Amico,
Ooh.
under the Podnutz name of stuff that will greatly, greatly help you as technicians and people with computer repair businesses. So we're working on it. Hopefully we can bring that to fruition. It will be good for all. All right, Steve D, where can people find you?
You can also find me on Twitter, SMDSteve. Follow me, I will follow you back. And
That's a great slogan.
And I'm also at stevendemico.com.
Sweet. Well, thank you both for being on the show as usual. It was a good time. Hey, sorry we got
that was fun, and Merry Christmas to everybody out there, by the way, too. Sorry.
Definitely. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, whatever you celebrate, do it, have fun, relax, chill out. I'm happy that we got to end off this show on a happy note. I think we just needed to get a lot of stuff out, so we appreciate you guys letting us do that. And
we needed to vent.
We needed to. It must, because now we feel good, right? We feel better.
I feel a little better. I just don't. I feel I'm alone with the whole wireless utility thing.
I'm with you, Steve. I'm with you.
Well, we'll vent more. We'll vent more on if we do a post show.
Sure.
All right, guys. Thanks very much for watching, listening, streaming, and have a good holiday. We'll see you next week.